Well, hey, my algebra students, I hope everything's going well. We're going to continue with solving quadratic equations is what it's called, and you're going to get some homework, which I'll give you later on in the video. Please be nice to the sub. So we were talking about the product rule of zero, which is if you have a product, something times something, and it equals zero, you can solve this by setting the first one equal to zero or the second one equal to zero, because the only way you can multiply two things to get zero is if at least one of them is zero. So I have a product equal to zero. So I'm going to set the first one equal to zero or the second one equal to zero and then solve. We did this back in September. You want to get the x by itself, so I divide by 2. Here I subtract 5. X equals -5. Here I have a product equal to 0. It's equal to 0. Something times something. That's what parentheses mean. So I say x plus 4 equals 0, or x minus 5 equals 0. So I would subtract 4, and here I would add 5. And those are my two answers. Now, I don't have a product here, so I need to do something to get a product. Well, that's what factoring is, and we've been working on this for a little while. So I'm going to factor this up. It's two terms, so it'd be the difference of squares. So x plus 5 equals 0, or x minus 5 equals 0. So subtract 5. So x equals -5. Here I add 5. So x equals 5. Those are my two answers. This is a trinomial. Remember, the last term is plus, so we add the factors of this to get this. So I'm going to factor it up. X squared is x and x. Last term's plus, so both are the same as the middle. And what do you multiply to get 3, but you add to get 4? So I set each one equal to 0. So subtract 3. Here I'm going to subtract 1. Here I'm going to, again, factor. Here, go ahead and do this. How would I factor this? So I'm going to pause for a minute and see if you remember how to do this, my peeps. Okay, you factor this up. So it'd be, what are the factors of 12 that add up to 7? So it'd be x plus, because last term's plus, both the same as this. And what do you multiply to get 12, but you add to get 7? How about 3 and 4? So it'd be x plus 3 equals 0. X plus 4 equals 0. So I would subtract 3 and subtract 4 to get the x by itself. Now, I have to get it equal to 0 first. So I'm going to subtract 5 to get everything on one side. Now, you always write it highest power to lowest. That's how you write a polynomial. 5 minus 5 is 0. So now I factor it. So it'd be x minus 5, x plus 1. So x minus 5 equals 0. X plus 1 equals 0. subtract 1, x is -1, add 5, x equals 5. This one, it's equal to 0, so I'm going to factor this up. X squared is x and x. Last term's minus, so it's plus minus or minus plus, either way. What do you multiply to get 20? But you subtract to get 1. Well, that would be 5 and 4. So x plus 4 equals 0. X minus 5 equals 0. So subtract 4 and add 5. Here I'm going to subtract 7x and add 12. So I subtracted 7x from both sides. I like to keep my coefficient of x squared positive. So I usually bring the terms over to the x squared. So add 12. Now I got to get a product, so I'm going to factor this. So x squared is x and x. Factors of 12 that add up to 7 would be 3 and 4. So x minus 3 equals 0, or x minus 4 equals 0. So add 3. Here I'm going to add 4. See if you can do these two for me. So freeze the video, do these two, and then turn me back on and I'll do it. Okay, so I need to get it equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 7. So it'd be x squared plus 6x minus 7. So I'm going to factor. So it'd be x plus 7, x minus 1. So x plus 7 equals 0. X minus 1 equals 0. Subtract 7. Here, add 1. This one, it's already equal to 0, so I just factor it. So x squared, the factors of 40 that subtract to give me 3, and we're subtracting, so one's plus, one's minus. It'd be 8 and 5. The largest one has to go with the middle sign. So it'd be x plus 5 equals 0. X minus 8 equals 0. So subtract 5. X equals -5. Add 8. X equals 8. Okay, so here's the homework. It's from the book. Not that many. It looks like a lot, but you should still have about 25 minutes in class. Hey, have a good day. Oops. Bye-bye.